Herzlich willkommen in Tranergy TV, immer noch im Long Beach Club in Hattersheim, im Technoclub Dance for Love 2015. Und auf meiner Seite ist einer der Helden der Trance-Szene, schon seit über 10 Jahren dabei. Damals hat er seine Karriere mit einem tollen Track auf Anjuna Beach, Guernsey gestartet. Danach kam Tundra und danach noch viele, viele andere tolle Songs. Er hat sein eigenes Label Intuition Records und heute zum 3. Mal im Technoclub. Herzlich willkommen von Holland, Menno de Jong. Nice that you're here.
Hello, thank you. Very nice to be here.
Menno, this is your 3rd time in the Technoclub. How was it for you today?
Oh, it was really nice actually. I came here pretty rushed from Tomorrowland and got in here exactly on time, and I was amazed to see this many people there with the kind of weather that was going on today. The crowd just now was really, really lovely. So
give us a quick report from Tomorrowland.
Sorry?
Give us a quick report from Tomorrowland.
Oh, wow. Well, actually, it was really nice this year. The Trans-Attic stage had a really good lineup. It was Marcus Schulz, John O'Callaghan, Ali and Fila, myself, and many more. And yeah, the stage looked amazing. The crowd was there all day. I mean, I played pretty early in the day, and it was packed from the beginning. And when I left at the end of the party, it was still busy. So the vibe was great. And obviously, Tomorrowland is like almost a city more than a festival. You know, it's huge. So really, really cool.
I think you were shocked when you met me before today because I showed you an old picture. And nowadays, you don't see pictures like that anymore. All it's about are selfies.
I know. Yeah.
That first picture I showed you, that was 10 years ago in a Technoclub. What memories do you have? That was a long time ago. It was in an old movie theater in Frankfurt.
I remember that gig actually because at that time I'd already started playing with CDs and also playing with vinyl. And I came to the club, and instead of the CDJ-like CD players, they had the kind of CDJs that are built into a wall, you know, with like the disc drives coming out and the buttons on the side. So it's very scary to play there actually. Thank God everything went great, and it was a really good first Technoclub experience.
I think your friend Paul Mullins was also there.
Yeah, he was also there. That's right.
How has your sound developed in the last 10 years?
Well, it's funny because I regularly listen to old tracks and then listen to new tracks, and I think back then the melody and atmosphere was much more important, and recently it's become much more important how banging and energetic and stuff is. So I've tried to adapt to that and try to make things a bit more pumping too. So
you definitely have done that. How was the atmosphere today? I mean, obviously it wasn't as cold. Was it something between Ibiza and Luminosity Beach here?
Yeah, I was actually really thinking about Luminosity Beach Festival when I first saw this party, and the venue too. It's very similar, and yeah, I think I recognized quite a few faces from Luminosity too. So
yeah, there were some really people up there from Frankfurt. What did Tala's music mean to you when you were young in Holland?
Well, actually, he started organizing parties in 1984, the year I was born. So, you know, that's like 30 years ago. He's just one of the guys that has started the scene in Germany, you know, with his parties at the airport. What's it called again?
Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray, exactly. I think it's Weeze Airport now or something around that area. Is it Weeze Airport now? Düsseldorf Weeze, is that the area?
No, it's in Frankfurt.
It's in Frankfurt. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, his tracks go a long way back, and you know, I have a lot of vinyls from him from back in the days, and so.
Did you collect the Technoclub CDs?
I didn't. There was too many of them. I couldn't keep up. I was already collecting In Search of Sunrise, In Trance We Trust, State of Trance. And, you know, when you're a kid, your budget only goes so far. So.
Well, one thing, you finally made it. It took 48 CDs, but you have mixed the new one with Tala.
Yeah.
And what kind of an experience was that, an honor to do that?
Yeah, it was definitely an honor to do, and glad I finally got around to it. And I really tried to put some of the best trance tracks that I could find right now on there, and I think it turned out really, really well, and I hope people enjoy listening to it. So
yeah, how difficult was it getting this track list for this CD?
Well, I have the convenience of being A&R for In Trance We Trust these days, so I was able to find a lot of tracks that we're going to release on the label in the future and put them on the CD, so exclusives basically. And for the rest, I just emailed around to some of my DJ friends out in the scene to see if they had any releases coming up or new artists that had releases coming up. And also I put some of my favorites of the last month or two on there. So
a lot of your own stuff too. One track I like very much is Abhizia.
Yeah.
What was your inspiration behind that track? I mean, getting it to be the way it is.
Well, it comes from a couple of things actually. Recently, I've really enjoyed some of the progressive psytrance coming out by guys like Liquid Soul and Neelix, etc. And also, I went to India for 1 month in January, and I felt so inspired there that I had to do something with these influences. So I kind of went off my usual uplifting track, and I tried to make something like tech psy uplifting. It was kind of a combination of everything that I like. So yeah, that's how it came about.
When here's the word Area 51, we think of a military area in the United States.
Yeah.
But it's also a trance track from you and Tella. How did you guys come upon this idea?
Well, it's a funny story. We actually had a different title at first, which was Pure Energy, but given the fact that there's now Giuseppe Ottaviani and Solarstone presents Pure Energy, we decided to think of something else. And because there's this vocal in the track.
Yeah, that's very old school. I like that.
It's from a movie, and the movie's called Area 51. Don't tell anyone, because we don't want any lawsuits. So there you go. That's how we thought of the title.
Your first track, Guangxi, I mean, I just loved that when that came out 2004 on Juno Beach. Do you have any memories what the first impression of Tony McGuinness and Jono Grant were, and Pavo, when they heard that? I mean, when they were talking to you about this track?
Well, actually, I was talking to James Grant,
the A&R.
Jono's brother. And, I kind of sent out 5 CDs to different labels, and at some point I got a call from Anjuna Beats saying, hey, we really like this Guangxi track. Can we play it on our, I think it was Anjuna Beats Worldwide radio show, which James Grant does. And so he played it, and the listeners voted it to the favorite track of the week. And like a week later or something, he called again, and he's like, how would you feel about releasing this track on Anjuna Beats? And I'm like, oh, that would be okay.
You were a 20-year-old, right?
I was 18, no wait. I made the track when I was 17, and I sent out the demos when I was 18. So I was 18 years old. I mean, like, I tried to keep calm on the phone, and yeah, that would be pretty awesome. I hung up the phone, and I'm like, Mom, like I lived at home. So
with respect to all the other great trance labels there, would you agree that Anjuna Beach was one of the best trance labels back in the 205 time?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I remember Anjuna Beats, Tsunami, Armada was starting to come up back then, and Black Hole and Vandit. Those were the big labels, and Bonsai, of course, So it was kind of the perfect start to my career. I'm really happy it went that way. So got very lucky in that sense, So
why is Tundra so timeless?
I don't know, like the melody. Back then it was all about the melody, and I think a good melody can last forever. Maybe it sounds a little outdated now. I have trouble playing it because it lacks the energy, so maybe it needs like an update. But yeah, a good melody is a good melody, Maybe that's why.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the last track you played was Turtle Paradise, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that song is like a trance symphony for me. I mean, where does it take you every time you play that track again, and you're playing it and you're listening to that incredible melody? I mean, where does that take you? Or are you just so focused on the crowd, or can you sometimes just get away and be somewhere else when you listen to that song from yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the tracks that really came in a pure burst of inspiration for me. So hearing it back is really, really a joy, and to see the crowd react to it that way is really, really like humbling. I really enjoy playing it, and it definitely takes me to a higher state.
I think it takes a lot of people to a higher state.
And it's definitely, I mean, even though it kind of sounds like a different time, I can still kind of like bringing it back into my sets these days. It's kind of old school, I guess, but I like that sound in trance. So
a lot of great trance labels out there, but you've done a good job with Intuition Records. What makes this label so special? I mean, if you compare it to other labels.
Gosh, I mean, it's all about the melodies and the themes, and we always try to push artists to make the best of that. And actually, I have kind of retired from Intuition.
Oops! But I knew a lot of other stuff about you.
This is a recent development, so I don't blame anyone for not knowing. But I wrapped up Intuition a while ago because the people I was working with decided to go into different things. And so at the beginning of this year, I've become A&R of In Trance We Trust for Black Hole Recordings, and that's kind of the new thing. So I'm hoping to kind of combine the sound they have for In Trance We Trust with what I did with Intuition and what's happening right now, and build that, and I hope a lot of new cool artists to a new level, basically.
Yeah, last year a great artist, John Ekman, played in the Technoclub, and I think you're working with him right now.
Yeah,
what can we expect from that?
Well, I mean, Johan is just an incredible talent, so I'm so happy to have him on board within Transfeed Trust. And yeah, I mean, he's someone that brings so much energy into his tracks and has that old school trance feel. Like, I think he's going to be one of the future trance stars for sure, and keeping the sound alive that we all love so much. So,
in a sense, you remind me a little of Steve Hellstrip from the Thrill Seekers, just in that if you look over the last 10 years, you guys haven't really produced so much. I mean, it's more quality over quantity, except if you look at Steve now in the last year, he's done a lot of things, but they've been all dead on. What is your biggest strength as a producer?
Wow, I think my biggest strength is melodies and ideas, and that's always what I start with too, and then I build it from there and try to work the production around it, basically. So yeah, that's it. Actually, we're a little less productive because we don't use ghost producers and we do everything ourselves, so that needs to be said. It's hard work, touring and then making music on the side, because it takes a lot of time to make good tracks, I promise you. But
I believe you, and we're also glad that you're really doing it yourself.
Thank you.
Menno, a lot of people, or a lot of DJs always marvel about the Avalon Club in Los Angeles. You played there recently. What makes this club so great?
Well, I believe it's the longest running club in Los Angeles, and played there a couple times already, and June 20th this year is the first time we did an In Transfeed Trust label night there. And I mean, it's a 2,500 capacity room with everything from lasers to CO2 and LED screens. You know, it's just one of the places that dance music really kicked off in California. So an honor to play there, and you know, to play there for like a crowd of over 1,000 people, that's pretty special. Like,
Menno, is trance going in a healthy direction in 2015?
Yeah, definitely, because you see the people that have a real heart for it sticking around, and they're working really hard on it, and you know, keeping fresh music coming. That's really what matters in the scene. So,
is it true you're the tallest trance DJ in the world?
Yes, and as far as I know, the tallest DJ in the world. So,
okay, this is a first here for us. What an honor, Menno. What is the most annoying thing about being a 6'8" trance DJ?
Being on airplanes and hitting my head everywhere. So, but for the rest, it's pretty cool. Like I like being tall. I used to play basketball when I was younger, so that was great.
But you learn a little with experience about how to deal with your height, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Stay calm. Enjoy the weather out there.
All right. Now the weather today isn't too great. Are you a sports buff?
Yeah. Well, not so. I don't do a lot of sports anymore, but I definitely was before. So. Okay.
Here to the left, I don't know if you saw it, there's a river, the Main River, which flows into the Rhine River, which is the most famous German river.
I know the Rhine.
It's summertime, it doesn't feel like it right now, but if you hopped in there with Tala, who would be the first to swim over?
Well, I go for a swim every week, so
you're younger too.
Sure, I can handle that.
All right, last question, Menno. When you play your last gig one day, what will be your last record if it was now, if you had to choose now?
That would be Push Strange World 2000 remake. So.
All right, that's a very interesting choice, but I guess everyone has their favorite, right?
I know, yeah. When I was like 17 years old, that was just one of the tracks that immediately stole my heart. So I'll never forget.
All right, Menno, thanks so much for taking time to be with Tranergy TV, and thanks for the music. Keep it up.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you hopefully in Technoclub again soon.
I hope so too. Thank you very much.